I do believe we are live once again.
We are.
Welcome everyone. Welcome to another happy half hour brought to you by Carolina Retirement Planners, found here in the wonderful coastal town of Wilmington, North Carolina. And actually, we're broadcasting from 7th and Market here, where I am. And Sam, you're down a little further on the peninsula at your house.
Yep.
So, and hidden behind the scenes, as usual, is our director of client fund, Amy. And Amy, you're up there in the Ogden area. You gotta love this.
Yeah, we're all over the place. We're just like spread out. We're sharing the love. Yeah.
And if you've just joined us, just as a prelude, we're going to talk about the one number from your tax return that'll tell you the two numbers you need to know and how you're going to figure that. It's going to be fun. But we always like to start with, we are, again, I am the president of Carolina Retirement Planners. If in fact you've just stumbled in for the first time, this is my partner and daughter in the business, Samantha Shakavich. And we come to you for do we know how many of these we've done now, Amy?
This is 112.
112, for the 112th time, successive week, we have come to you to bring you a little something. It started when COVID was here and we couldn't get together face to face, and it's been so much fun. We've kept going. But I think we always start by saying, something fun like what week this is. And what week is this, Amy?
It is the fall equinox, but as I was corrected, it currently is not the fall equinox, but it is. I even put on like an orangey kind of fall-y kind of shirt, just cause,
Yeah, I should have.
Raining on my parade. I even had like pumpkin beer and a pumpkin glass, and
you're all set. Yeah. Fall starts. I was being technical. Fall starts at 9:04 p.m. tonight. So
9:04 p.m. and how many seconds, Dad?
No, there is no. Well, I don't know what the seconds are.
Whoa!
Didn't give that.
Yeah.
You said it was
celebrating
just
it all
for an
day.
instant when everything aligned.
If somebody Googles it out there, go ahead and put it in the chat so we know how many seconds it goes. But as you know, there is an instant at time. I think it's when a line between the center of the sun and the center of the earth passes through both the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn, and that's when officially fall begins. The sun is now, at least in our hemisphere, getting a little higher above the Tropic of, I think is it Cancer, Capricorn in this anyway. I better not embarrass myself too much with my somewhat lack of geographic.
Well, today it definitely did not feel like the start of autumn, like fall. But if you look ahead in the weather report in the calendar, tomorrow should be beautiful. I believe tomorrow we're looking at like a 75 high, and we're going to get down into the 50s. So tomorrow, and I believe Saturday as well, should be absolutely stunning.
I am looking forward to it because it is in the 90s today, I think, and it is.
It was very muggy today. Yeah.
Yeah, Saturday's great. I'm taking my grandson fishing. So early morning fishing as soon as, we have to be there like 6:45. He's so excited. It's still like flounder season. We caught so much last year. So hoping.
Are you going on a boat?
Yeah, with our flippy floppies. Yeah.
Like a charter. Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, a friend of ours, he runs kids camps, but he does like great like adult camp, like charter. So anyway, go. But yes, we're going Saturday morning. So
that'll be great.
And we have a bunch of people. We always like to say hi to who has joined us. I see that Bill has joined us as usual. Cindy as well. Bruce, good to see you. Boy, a whole bunch of people. Nadine, our own Brenda Armstrong has joined us. Margie, it's good to see you here. Eric, good afternoon to you too from Pittsboro, North Carolina. Mm-hmm. Dan from he's in the mountains. They're drinking pumpkin beer. Okay. Bruce, Paul.
I love it, Dan. I love it.
There, Phil. Boy, Teresa. Another regular.
I know that lady.
Yes, Darlene, Rich, Jean, And boy, a big crowd today. Fred, good to see you. Gene, another Gene, and no, it's the same Gene. And so, welcome everybody. Welcome everybody. It's going to be an interesting day here. So,
so Dad, what are we talking about today?
Well, we're talking about taxes and really when I teach classes, I've been teaching workshops in taxes. We've started up again. The good news is, I did it for 15 years. Essentially, since COVID hit, we haven't. And this fall, we've cranked back up. And I was doing an example. It's one of the core examples I do for people. And I thought, boy, I don't think I've ever done that on Happy Half Hour. It's something everyone should know. And everyone can dig out their last tax return and a tax table and see it. So, and I've never done it out here, and I haven't practiced it. Well, so I've done it a million times in classes. So we'll go see how it works here. Let's see if I can get the cameras all working correctly and get this together. And now, if I'm right, I think. What is it? You and Amy could reduce yours, and hopefully I am now big up here.
I see it.
Yep.
And
good.
This is the story of what is it? It's a story of a couple.
Mark and Mindy. Yeah.
Mark and Mindy. Mark and Mindy have retired. And Mark and Mindy, if you look at their tax return, their taxable income, when you go to your tax return, there is I have one here. Yeah, hang on. I knew I had one laying around here somewhere. There is a line for adjustable gross income, kind of all the money you make, and then there's a line for taxable income. That's after you've taken your deductions. That's the amount they actually tax you on. Mark and Mindy have a taxable income of $120,000. They got some good pensions, some good Social Security. They can count on that coming in every year. Now, Sam, I'm going to need your help. I want to go over here. Oh boy, I got everything scattered all over today. I want to go over here to our little graph, and I want to lay out the tax brackets for a couple like this. They're married filing jointly. What's the lowest tax bracket for them?
10%.
10%. And that'll start at zero. What's it go up to?
$20,550.
So everything between $20,550 is taxed at 10%. What's the next bracket?
12%.
12%. And what's the top of the 12% bracket?
$83,550.
$83,550. And what's the next bracket?
22%.
22%. And what's the top of that bracket?
$178,150.
Okay. Now they are bringing in, as we saw, 120. So they're right about here.
And that's of taxable income, correct? After
That's
their
their
deduction.
taxable income. Now, let's start by doing some calculations here. Obviously, between 0 and 20,550, there's $20,550. And if you were to calculate what the tax on that is, that's math that I think everyone can do. It's $2,055, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the first 20,000 they've made or so is taxed at 10%. Now, between 20,000 and 8,550 and 83,550, there is $63,000. And if you tax it at 12%, it comes out to $7,560. So in that next tax bracket, because most of us are in more than one tax brackets, and so they're going to pay $7,560, and then between $83,000 and $120,000, they're going to have $36,000, 36,450, I believe, and that's taxed at 22%. So the tax on that will be $8,019. Now, we can add these three things up. And if we add these up, we're going to get $17,634. That's the total tax they pay. And I'll tell you, if I take that and I divide it by the 120, I find out that the average or net tax rate on this is 14.7%. And I'm betting that I could go to all your tax returns, whether you did it on Tax Pro or Tax, one of the tax programs, or whether you had some guy or gal at your accountant or CPA do it. They're all going to tell you what the average tax is. It's going to be 14.7%. And I'm here to tell you that number is practically useless. That is not the number you need to know
For real?
to cut your taxes. Yep.
Man.
Would you be surprising the government tells us that number instead of the right one? So it's a different number. They're making 120,000. If they made one more dollar, how much tax would they pay on that dollar?
22%.
22% or 22 cents. If they put one more dollar into an IRA that year, how much would they delay paying tax on? 22%. There, you can see that this is what we call the marginal rate. It's the rate that the next dollar would be taxed on. So one of the numbers, and you can look at this couple and you could see that, well, they're probably always going to be in this 22%. If they're happily living off $120,000, they're going to be in that rate. That is one of the two numbers you need to know, is what is the marginal rate you're at. And you find that by finding your taxable income, going to a tax form like the one we have here, in which you'll have a chance to get if you don't have one, and seeing where your tax brackets are. You can Google them too, but ours has all kinds of other cool information on it. Now, the second thing you need to know is, how much more money could I earn here in this tax bracket, this 22% marginal tax bracket, and still only pay 22%?
$58,150.
That's right. I can go from 120 to 178. So there's about $58,150 that I could earn and still only pay 22% on it. Now, why is that important? That's the second number you want to know. It's because if I know I'm going to be in this bracket for a long time and I have an IRA that I'd like to convert to a Roth, I could convert $58,150 and still only pay 22%. Sam, what is the moral? What is the number one common sense statement when it comes to paying taxes?
Always pay taxes at the lowest rate.
always, Ed Slott, we are members of his elite advisory group. He's America's CPA. He's got public television programs on saving taxes on your IRA. And and we've done some previous ones about why you want to pay taxes early. But this is what we call the headroom. It's the amount of space you have in the tax bracket you're in now. If you go above that, you're going to be paying tax at 24%. Now, that may still be the right thing for some people, but it's usually a very logical, almost a no-brainer, not always, but for most people to take up that room and convert tax at today's rate, unless for some reason they think they're going to fall into a lower rate in the future, like they're still working.
Oh, wait, I just want to say, I think I understand now why these numbers are not easily found, right? Because then you might have to pay more taxes. Is that what I'm seeing? Oh, I see.
Well, I don't know.
I don't want to say that, but I'm thinking maybe.
Yeah, the government, to some extent, they like the idea that they need the tax money, so they get it now instead of later. That can be good too. But the reason you want to do it is, let's think about this. Why would it make sense to lock in 22% now?
Because in the future, there's a number of reasons why your tax rate could change.
And what's one of the big ones that we're almost sure it's going to go
up? Because the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, the tax rates are going to sunset. Our current tax brackets are going to sunset.
Yeah, in 2018, we passed the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, and we lowered the 15% to 12 and the 24% to 22 and the 28% to 24. We cut taxes, but we didn't cut spending. And so these have to sunset on January 1st, 2026. So you have about 4 more years now they could change it, they could do it down, but we're really in debt. We have been running a big deficit. And if they do nothing, they'll automatically go up. And we got to pay off this debt. So this is a good chance. You have 4 years to take advantage of this. Plus, we often talk in some of the other happy half hours why you should be aware of when spouse dies, the surviving spouse, if you're married, will be in a higher tax bracket because they'll be filing on a single tax rate. So we can see that Mork and Mindy, it would make sense for them to do up to 58,000 and convert it to a Roth and get it into the tax-free world forevermore. Now, I know many of you are probably sitting there saying, well, golly, that looks kind of complicated, and I'd have to break out spreadsheets and all. There's got to be an easier way to calculate it, and there is. I'm going to go back down to the other camera and show you how that can work. Where's my other camera? There we are. And now, with any luck, I'm going to go here. I didn't test out if this works this time. Hopefully it'll work here. We may want to hide. Well, no, this will show up big enough. This is one of the things we did is we built a little spreadsheet where you can go in and plug things in, and it will automatically tell you what's going on. So if you look here, we put 120,000 into the adjusted gross income, and it automatically figures out what the deductions are. And then it goes in here and it figures out how much is in each category and says, okay, I got to pay $22,055 in this bracket, 75 in that. And somehow I got a different number in that bracket. Why did I do that? I may have, no, it's because that's because I put the wrong number in. Anyway, I already took the deduction, but it'll tell you the brackets. And then we actually have a little graphic prints that says, hey,
Oh yeah,
here's how
'cause
much headroom
you had 120 as the adjusted gross income, not as the taxable.
not the taxable income. I did this in a hurry. I should have upped that. But anyhow, you can see this automatically calculates and even gives you a nice picture, so you will know how much room you have. And this makes it easy to do things like Roth conversions. And we use this all the time with clients each year when we try to figure out how much headroom they have and things like that. Some other software that does it well, but this is the kind of thing, if you want to save money in taxes, the low-hanging fruit, the easiest thing is to say, what's my taxable income? Where does it sit in my tax rate? What's my marginal rate? How much headroom? And think about converting that. Now, there's some other things you got to worry about. If you do too much and you're over 63, it could change how much you pay for Medicare Part B that year. That's a different happy half hour. I think we may have done it, but this is sort of one of the key things to know. And I thought it'd be nice to show this to people on the happy half hour one time, so we have an idea. So there we go. I hope that was helpful. Let's see, we have some more.
Do we have any fun giveaways you would like to show? Because I think
we do have some fun giveaways. What do we have? If you would like, there's a couple things you can get. One is, this is the 2022 tax summary. It shows the rates for people, but shows a lot of other things: capital rates, how much you can put in IRAs, all kinds of limits of spending. If you have an IRA, how much you can take out per year. Really nice, a nice thing to have. We also have a booklet called The Tax Strategies for Retirement. This booklet has a lot of interesting views, including it shows you the tax buckets. This is another concept you can use in how to do taxes. How can they get this if they'd like to get a copy?
first, I love that booklet, but second, I've already put it in the comments. So all I need to do is send an email to Mary, and it's in there. It's all good. Mary@carolinarp.com. She is fantastic, and she'll put it in the mail to them. So she'll mail it out. So it's right there and handy. And that is a wonderful flash report. It's great. I love it. I personally use it. So I think it's a great one. Both of those tools. So
and clients know they can call us anytime, set up a phone call or a visit if there's a question that we haven't addressed since our last meeting. But if you're here as a visitor and you'd like to just talk more about where you are, there's a lot more stuff we can do to show what the long-term effect of doing Roth conversions, the tax savings would be. Amy will put into.
Yeah, I honestly offered that. I didn't even ask you. I put that in there. I figured that if anybody wanted, I took a step ahead. I'm sorry. I figured if anybody wanted a unique look at their tax situation, you guys are so good, you would offer a free phone call or something to run that report for them. So I put that in the comments as well.
Yeah, easiest thing is just set up a 15-minute phone call, talk about it, and so that we offer that. If you sat through our happy half hour, laughed at all our jokes, what can we do? So, okay, we're getting close to the top of the hour. We're getting up against the most important part.
Oh yeah, it's our wine drawing. So each week we give away 2 bottles of wine delivered directly to your door from Fermental Bottle Shop. They have a newly opened location in the Cargo District downtown. So go check them out. They have all kinds of food trucks and events happening all the time right now. But to enter the drawing each week, if you're on Facebook, you just click that you are coming to the event. And if you're on our email list, we'll let you know what the topic is each week, and you'll just respond to that email and we will get you entered in here as well. So our winner this week of 2 bottles of wine delivered directly to your
Drum roll.
door is Margaret and Jean R. So congratulations,
Nice,
Margaret and Jean.
congratulations.
You are our wine winners today.
Nicely done. And I still didn't finish my beer. I always try. I try so hard. This is a lot.
I'm still drinking tea. I have a class yet to give this evening.
You
So
do. It's a good one too. Yeah. So down
if
in
you're
Leland.
over there, if you're over there in the Leland area, you may want to rush over to the what time did we start tonight? 6:30?
6:30. Yeah. You have a little bit of time. Don't dilly-dally. You have not a lot of time. So
You could rush over to the north campus of the
Leland Center.
the community college. It's like near Vitalik under the water tower. We still have some space. That was the only class that had any space in that we've done this month.
I think we only have like 3 seats left. And if you are offering that, then we got to put extra books in there because I think we only put an extra amount. I'll see if Mary's still there. Look at my dog's barking. She's yelling at you for that because we're not prepared, but we can be prepared.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No, we will. I'll get Mary.
We'll fix
Mary
that.
is like amazing. Everybody has been amazing because it's been so every class has been sold out. And not even that, I mean, we don't charge, but every class has been waiting listed. It's been insane. So this is the only one that we have a couple seats open. So we'll put the extra books in just in case anybody wants to go. 6:30.
It's been great teaching again. I miss it. So
yeah, Brunswick Community College, Leland Center, 6:30 tonight. We will put the extra books in. If you would like to attend, come on. We'll accommodate. So yeah.
you can bring supper in, grab a sandwich, eat it there. So
Yeah,
it'll be
people do. So
nice. I like the room. It's a nice room.
They remodeled everything, new chairs, new tables. I was like, whoa. Yeah, they have a new director there. I'm impressed with that facility. So yeah, I like it. New projector. I'm like, whoo, yeah. Greg over there.
Didn't have to bring my own anymore.
Oh, it's really nice over there. I really like it. So he's done a wonderful job. So kudos to Greg. So yeah. But thank you, everyone. So yeah. Cheers. With my unfinished beer.
You all pay less in taxes over the next 20 years.
Yes. And those hidden numbers. Now I know why. So, all right. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye. Take care.